I am a young man who left everything behind to go overseas, too overwhelmed by the adrenaline and the excitement alongside many of the boys I grew up with in my small town. Very little did I know I would never be back again, and I stepped out of my family farmhouse for the very last time, ever. The day they came I remember clearly as anything. It was a cold, grey, dry January day. Everyone was gathered around the wood stove for lunch, warming up our hands after a long morning of chores, as well as to the bush for firewood, a usual job we did to pass the long winter months. As my mother was pouring us our soup, we heard some rigid knocks at the door. I opened the squeaky old door to find two uniformed men standing side by side, both smoking their pipes. I got a chill down my back from my head to my toes when they referred to me as Private Robert Donald Brown. The smell of turkey soup drifted out towards the two men as the cold air and smell of pipe smoke rushed in after me. As they explained their orders and handed over some paperwork, my siblings flooded out of every room and gathered around the doorway, desperation in their eyes and tears from the youngest. Staring down at the crinkled papers, all I can focus on is the rumble of their green army truck parked at the bottom of the steps, and the faint smell of diesel drifting into the house, the smell of war, the smell of fear. It's already made its way to me. Their voices echo in my head as I stand there immobilized. Even if I tried, I don't think I could move. My thoughts are racing. Everything seems so hectic in my head and I cannot focus. Although I bear the paperwork in my hands, they feel cold, empty, powerless. I can't help but think that in 2 weeks I will be gone overseas and will never come back.
What has this world become? Where was the trust, the happiness, the love? It was on the morning of May 22nd, 1939 that my eyes opened to this disaster. I never thought this could even be possible. My native country, Italy, had formed an alliance with the Germans. My life had shifted 180 degrees in the blink of an eye. I was simply a businessman whose job was to make military uniforms for my country. However, now, I was a tool for the war. A tool for the Nazis who would use me to only cause trouble. I was a simple piece that fit perfectly in their horrid plan. I had built so many memories here that I wasn't about to destroy. So I decided that my time was over. It was time for me to start a new life where I could spread joy rather than hate. Little did I know I was going to end up here in this internment camp. It was a few months ago that I had flown from Italy to Canada. That flight felt like a dream that quickly turned into my worst nightmare. When I landed, they were waiting for me at the airport. Not just me, but all the others with me were arrested and thrown in this camp. The Canadians believed I was a spy for the enemies. They gave me no time to speak. Instead, they used me for their own purpose. I've been in this camp for 3 months now, and every day, all I did was carry loads that I knew were filled with bullets. I knew that the bullets I held in my hands were the same ones that were going to be fired to kill millions of people. It disgusted me. Nothing had changed, whether I was here in Canada or still in Italy. I was just a pawn. Useless. In fact, if I was anywhere, I would still be a piece to someone's hideous puzzle. I was surrounded by men who were in the same position I was in. I could understand them clearly, even if no words were spoken. There was a connection. We all worked extremely hard in these camps, even though we knew our work was going to be used to take lives away. So why did we do it? I still ask myself that question. The answer is we were frightened. Scared because at any moment in time, if we didn't obey the rules, they wouldn't hesitate to kill us. No one had mercy. However, I knew I was going to make it out. The world wasn't a happy place anymore. I couldn't comfortably look at someone in the eye. They'd look away. It was filled with people only seeking power. No one trusted, no one loved, and no one was happy. Yet still, I could see the light at the end of the tunnel. It was faint, but I knew hope was still there.
I am Private Marcel Mallet, and I fight for my freedom and the freedom of my loved ones. My life fades from me with every step I take. My weapon is heavy, and yet I still can't seem to let it go. Is it that it makes me feel strong or comfortable? Maybe. Or maybe it is that I fear I will be taken over by the Germans. Do I even belong on this battlefield? I am just a small-town baker from France. I never asked to take lives and risk them. All this for what? Money? Land? Power? At what cost? That of my comrades that still stand and fight? Or that of the cold and blood-washed corpses of my other fallen brothers? A new beginning could be even more scary. How will I find my comfort again? I'm not in danger anymore. In fact, I am further from the battlefield than ever before. I arrived here at a port on the east coast of Canada, and I still feel the clumps of debris from wild mortars and hand grenades tossed all around me. Shell casing from Thompson machine guns clinging against the razor-sharp barbed wire. Hearing these sounds cycle through my head like a broken jukebox is haunting me. I was an instrument of war, broken from its usage of me. A simple pawn, I was made to believe by the king's bishops that I was the deciding factor for the best interest of the war. Taking 2 steps back, I can clearly tell they took me for a fool, manipulating my every emotion due to my pride in my country and my people. My comfort seemingly gone, until the sweet fragrances of a Canadian bakery drift by me. Chocolate croissants, whole wheat breads, danishes or scones, all these delicacies bring me back to my senses, my real self. I am surrounded by the gentle sense of a bakery, far from the battles fought, and even further from the tyrants that betrayed my cause. No more stale crackers with canned chicken. From now on, I will have fresh bread and hot turkey. No longer will I let my past torment me. I am greater than I was. Things will always get better, and I am the living proof of my claims. I felt scared, terrified, that those long days on the front lines had changed me, feeling they had wrecked my very soul. But with the soul of my food, I am freed of my burden. I am back to square one, where Marcel Mallet belongs.
A path that was paved for me is not a path that I will walk. I will build the foundations to my future. Where and who I stand for will not be dictated by hierarchy and class. The people I fight for are the ones that fight by my side.